Okay, hello. Some of you know me from the last meetups. I did some presentations here. Today actually have something totally not technical, and you can actually cross this Android world because it's relevant to anyone that wants to start a freelance business or a personal brand, kind of be independent. I chose this topic because in the last meetup, some people came to me and asked me how to start or how can I actually start being independent and working for clients, not within inside the company. And so just busted some slides and I would just share some tips that helped me. Of course, it's not the only way to do it, um, but it definitely helped me to start a successful freelance business. So my name is Omri Erez. This is a couple of projects I work for. Currently, I have two clients, so I'm working for Radio there. It's a company from Hamburg. I worked there for the last 2 years. And I wrote an online course about the Android development as well for Pluralsight. So some notes. So self-employment is not for everyone, but I think that if you never tried and you don't know really if it's for you or not, some people consider or relate it to be less safe than having kind of a steady job in a big company or in a startup. Although I, for example, know a lot of developers that work for a startup and then the startup just closed, so it wasn't safer anymore as well. In my opinion, as I said, if you never try to do something, then you don't really know if you're good at it or if it's for you or not. And even if you try to start a freelance business to be independent and you fail, then for sure you're gonna learn a lot from it. And you could always, in my opinion, go back to this, I call it the industry standard, because if you're an experienced Android developer or in general software, you will always find a place to go, or like you almost always will find a work. So of course you need a market, right? So if there is no market, you probably are not able to start a freelance business. Luckily for us, the Android market is there big time. So Android is booming. Basically, there is a lot of need for Android development. So that part is already checked. So luckily, it's there. Now I really like this quote. So there is only one big risk you should avoid at all costs, and that is the risk of doing nothing. It's like people that are complaining that they cannot win the lottery, but they have never kind of filled the lottery ticket. So of course there is no way they're going to win the lottery. So if you decide you want to, or you think you want to try to go freelance and to be independent, then of course without any small steps of doing that, then nothing is going to change. And I think the point here is really doing baby steps, and it doesn't have to. It can take some months until you get the first client, but I guess this is the important thing. Now you need some kind of a portfolio because most of the companies will ask either, even if it's a remote job, they will ask you to send the code base that you did. It doesn't have to be something that took you years to do. So it doesn't have to be a really complex app or something like that. I'll give you an example from my experience. There was one startup in Berlin, and I saw they looking for a remote Android developer, so I just contacted them. And I didn't have any code base to show them because everything was for my client, so I couldn't really expose whatever I wrote there because it was confidential. So I just sat one weekend in my house and just looked for an interesting API. Back then it was API from NASA, which kind of shows you interplanetary images, which was really nice. So I just busted a really simple app, which took me maybe 1.5 days to do. And I guess the important thing is just to showcase your code skills. Like it doesn't need to take a long time. They didn't take me to the job at the end. Okay, we had some interviews. At the end, they didn't took me. I learned from that as well. But I guess it was enough to kind of showcase your code skills, basically. Now, come out of your shell. I mean, we're all nerds here, right? Even if you don't really admit it, it's true, right? And most nerds are really shy. Okay, that's a fact, actually. And I guess the most important thing is really try to make new connections. Go to events. There are always new opportunities. Okay? New events means new opportunities. And by the way, not only in your field. So if you are an Android developer, I went to a lot of events which didn't have anything with Android, any connection. but there are always people on the go looking for new developers and looking for new stuff. So it creates some opportunities. Yeah, try to present about subjects you are really passionate about, because if other people see, or some companies are looking for Android developers, and they look at you and they see that you are really presenting on subjects that you are really passionate about, they say, okay, this is my guy, because he's really passionate about Android development, then I might hire you. And meet new people. Yeah, wherever you go, meet new people. Go talk. Don't be shy. And new people means new opportunities. Another example: last year I organized the mobile app contest here in Mindspace. I'm sure you know it. And there, one of the tasks, I needed to find some people to be in my jury, to kind of be the on-event jury. And there was one guy, which was a CEO of a startup in Hamburg, called Datafreunde and X Minutes. And guess what? When the contest finished, he came to me and asked me, "Hey, I need someone to build my Android prototype. Do you want to do it?" And actually, from indirectly organizing a mobile app contest, I got a new client, which was really nice. I guess my point is just go out there. You know, Hamburg is a big city with a lot of events, a lot of tech events, especially, and there are enough opportunities for you out there. It's easier than you think. And some alternatives. So if the first methods that I stated are not working for you, there are always the online alternative. So there are independent recruiters and recruiting companies. I can assure you 100% that the second you put the word freelance on your Xing or LinkedIn profile, you're gonna start getting like, not spam, because it's opportunities as well. Yeah. So you can go that way as well. It's one of its opportunities as well. In my case, I prefer to work with my clients directly. So I didn't. I usually don't answer those recruiting companies, but it's a good start. So it's a good opportunity as well. Another alternative is remote work websites, which are like remotely and remote OK, which there are two nice ones. Actually, in remote OK as well, I got an opportunity. I saw that Pluralsight are looking for someone to write online courses for Android development. So I just contacted them. We had some interviews, and then I wrote a course for them. Another point is that, for example, you have freelance platforms as well. Freelance there, I think it's the biggest in Germany. Again, it's not much. There is not much to do. You just need to put your experience there, your kind of one time to write your profile, and sooner or later, some opportunities will some people will contact you. Now, the art of leadership is saying no, not saying yes. It is very easy to say yes. Now, again, you can cross the word leadership, and my point is that it's really important to choose your projects right, because maybe, or it's really hard, because maybe you have a couple of projects and some companies want you to work for them, and it's not always easy to choose which project to work for. Now, of course, it's not always about the money. So my personal rule is I always choose projects which can challenge me, and through on the way with the work, I can learn something new. So another example for that is the online course. For example, for this online course, the ROI, or the return on investment, was very low. So the financial benefit from producing that course was not so high. It was pretty low. But I wanted to do it in order to learn how to produce or how to create online content, which helped me afterward. Now, maybe this is a little bit obvious, but if you really want to promote yourself or to create a personal brand, then it's the best time to do it. Like we live in the best time. We have technology, really good technology online. All these platforms, it's like just sit and do it. You know, you can spend 1 or 2 hours a week or 1-2 hours a month to write a Medium article about something you like, about related, of course, to your industry or to Android development. It shouldn't take a long time. It's just later on when either recruiters or companies look at your online profiles and see all that content, they're saying, okay, this is the guy for me. He's really passionate about what he's doing. Alternatively, you have all the online educational platforms like Udemy, Udacity. Actually, the entry barrier for Udemy is lower than the others, so you can just produce online courses. A really good example of that is actually Teresa. Where is she? She's here? Ah, she's not here. Yeah. She just started a new business, actually producing courses. Her teaching school, which is really nice. I think it's a really good example of trying to start something from nothing. Yeah, it's really hard to create online content and in general any teaching content. It's a lot of work, but I think it can really benefit you as a freelancer or as an independent business owner. And last but not least, yeah, grow your digital network. Like usually in Germany, the most relevant thing, of course, or in the German-speaking countries. But I really recommend you, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, then open it after I finish, because outside of Europe, it's very important. Yeah. So basically, when I had a startup in Silicon Valley, of course, everybody uses LinkedIn. So it's very important to have this both alternatives, because, for example, until today, people that I met 3 or 4 years ago, if they need an advice about Android development, or if they have a need, for Android development, they still contact them, even if I met them 4 or 5 years ago. So I guess this is one of the most important things, is kind of grow your digital network outside of Germany as well. Me personally, if I'm going for vacation in some other countries, I'm trying always to check the meetups there as well. So sometimes I go to meetups outside of Europe as well, which I find really useful as well. So you always, yes, the point is to always meet as many people as you can, and yeah, don't be shy. Just talk and yeah, grow the connections. Yeah, I guess this is it. Thank you. Do you have any questions? You know me until I need at least one question. If not, I'm not leaving you alone. I'm staying here. Yeah.
Okay, so how long did it take you from the moment you decided to become a freelancer to get your first customer?
Not long. Maybe 1 month, something like that. It's I had a little bit of luck as well, but I guess the first customer is the hardest as well. If you got one, then you can get another 100. Basically. Like everything, right? First time is always the hardest. Thank you very much.